Yo, what is going on, guys? So in today's video, we're gonna be doing something a little bit differently, and I've just kind of been thinking about buffs, champs I want buffed, and just like I was gonna initially do a top 5 list, but I was like, wait, why don't I just do a top 6 list and we talk about like the top option that I'd love to see buffed in each class. So that's what we're gonna do today. And yeah, just kind of flexing my rank 5s at the start. It's just so nice to look at these three champs that I just love, and I'm so excited for you guys to see my next rank 5s. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started just in order here with the science class. And so the science one, this is easy. Like some of the other classes, there's like a couple champs, and I'm like, it's so tough. But I think I'd pick this champ, but it's so tough. But science, like it's by far the easy. I don't even gotta think about it because there's just one champion in the science class that is just criminally weak and just needs a buff, and it's just it's frustrating. It's honestly frustrating, and that of course is Sentry, the man that has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. That line alone, the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. Like, what? Like, is that in his bio? Let's see if that is. Yeah, it is. With the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, Sentry combats the forces of evil and destruction, whether they come from abroad or from Sentry himself. Like, I wasn't sure if I was misremembering like that line. But yeah, 1,000,000, dude. Do you know how much power is in one exploding star? Like, an absurd, a ridiculous amount of power. One exploding sun would destroy our entire solar system, I think. Like, that's just one. But 1,000,000? 1,000,000 exploding suns. This guy has that much power inside of him? Like, do you know how much power that is? Like, that is honestly just ridiculous. But he is just so weak. He is so weak. Like, seeing Adam Warlock, like, that's what Sentry should be. Like, the damage and the output that Adam Warlock is capable of putting out, that's what we should be seeing coming out of Sentry. So, like, that is the buff I want to see in the science class. The problem, though, with Sentry being buffed and all that, is just the science class is already so powerful. Like, they don't really need any more help. They don't really need any more banger champions. But, of course, Sentry is owed that. He is due that. And I remember talking to Kabam John, like, a lot, like, this is, like, years ago, like, probably, like, 2 years ago at this point. We were talking about a Sentry buff, and he's like, yeah, he would like to, have a Sentry buff. And he was saying, like, there's just a couple things he'd maybe tune up, but I didn't like that. I was like, no, 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 no. If we're talking Sentry buff, like, let's go back to the drawing board and just completely start over. Let's just start over, because, like, let's just start over. He's worth starting over, I think. He's that good of a character. And since there's been nothing over the last couple, like I said, that was a long time ago. Since there's been nothing, little tune-ups, nothing for Sentry. He's just bugged right now. I really do hope that they do a full, complete overwork on him, overhaul, and he gets at least the power of one exploding sun. So yeah, that's science. Just definitely the champion that I want to see get a buff in science class Sentry, without a doubt. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the skill class. Now this is where it gets a little trickier for me. The skill class has had a lot of buffs and a lot of really great buffs, like Kingpin, Crossbones, Falcon. Like, these are all extremely meta-relevant champs now. Thor had an alright buff as well. Sakura had a great buff. Like, there's just many, many buffs in the skill class. Hawkeye's was alright. Mole Man's was incredible. Many, many buffs in the skill class. But there are still a few champions that are just potatoes. They do nothing in today's game. And, originally, like, if I had to pick someone, I was originally leaning Agent Venom. You might be thinking, Legacy. Agent Venom does not need a buff. He is incredible. And yeah, with 2 synergies, he is absolutely incredible. But, I like champions who are incredible on their own. Because in Battlegrounds, you don't have someone holding your hand with a synergy partner. So, yeah. But, because of his synergies, Agent Venom is awesome. I would honestly just love if, like, both of those synergies could be incorporated into his kit, just toned down maybe by like 50% or something, and then with the synergies, like it amplifies it by the other 50%, something like that, or maybe just some other kind of change too. Because I do like Agent Venom; he is cool. I really love symbiotes, and it's cool to have a skill symbiote. So I'd like to see some changes. But if I had to pick one champ in the skill class to buff, it wouldn't be him. Originally, I was also thinking Daredevil because I love Daredevil. I love his character. I love just like he's this handicapped superhero. You know, he's blind, but he's not really blind. Like I don't know. It's just such a interesting premise, and I love the Daredevil Netflix show so much. He's just such a cool character. And he's a lawyer too, so that adds like a whole different aspect. I love it, and I would love to see this Daredevil buffed. I really would. But the champion I want buff most has got to be Moon Knight. It's got to be Moon Knight because Moon Knight is just, man, he's so dope. He looks so cool. The Moon Knight show was fantastic. I really didn't know much about Moon Knight in the comics, and I didn't know that he had like all these different personas in his mind and everything. I love that. I love that. And the fact that these different personas can change the way he utilizes those powers and the suit that he like envisions himself with. The different personas have a different suit. Like that's just so cool, and that is just screaming pre-fight abilities, pre-fight modes, like to change personas, and each persona does something else. Like, oh, that would just be so freaking cool. That'd be so cool for Moon Knight, man. I really despise and hate the way his current abilities work with the actual like how whatever the moon is on like a monthly schedule. Like no, that's silly. That's no. Kind of cool, like what they're going for, but it just does not work. It just does not work at all, in my opinion, in a game like this. I really don't like that. Yeah, but personas with pre-fights to select or to switch personas, like a special 3 enters you into the really crazy persona that we saw like at the end of the Moon Knight show, his most powerful one, like something like that, like just so much potential with a Moon Knight buff. I would just absolutely love to see it. So Moon Knight is my pick for the skill class. Let's go ahead and move on now to the Mutant Class. So the Mutant Class is another one that has had a lot of successful buffs. And if I was making this video last year, the choice would have been obvious. It would have been Iceman. But Iceman got buffed, so we can talk about someone else. And then it comes to, there's a few. Like, for example, there's some good champs that I really wish were just a lot better. For example, like Wolverine. Like, Wolverine's sick, right? And as a horseman, he's actually just an incredible mutant. Like, Horseman Wolverine with Apocalypse still on the team, I think Wolverine's a top 5 mutant in the entire game. Easily. He's got the damage, he's got the regen. Is Wolverine like one of the probably the most well-known mutant in the entire world? Like, Wolverine is such a popular character, everyone loves him. He's awesome. Hugh Jackman just did such a good job portraying him throughout the movies. I really just wish, again, some of those synergies that he gets from Apocalypse could just be implemented into his base kit, and then as a horseman with APOC on the team, it just gets increased. I just really wish like he wasn't. I wish he could access that on his own, again, in an area like Battlegrounds. Or just in and it doesn't have to be Battlegrounds. Like, I don't always have room to bring synergies, and I just don't want to feel the need to bring synergies. Synergies shouldn't make or break a character. They should just add to what's already on the character, in my opinion. That's what I think really good synergies do. I hate synergy reliance. I don't like that. Not a fan of it. But again, like, if I had, for the sake of this video, I wouldn't just pick Wolverine to get buffed, because there's some potatoes in the Mutant Class that I would prioritize being buffed. But the same goes for Deadpool. Like, his regen's nuts, but that's it. He doesn't do anything else. Like, Deadpool is such a great character. And he's honestly one of the biggest faces of this game. But Deadpool's kind of like more of like a... honestly, Deadpool, he kind of reminds me of like the Collector or the Grandmaster. Like, he's like... He's not really... He's in the game, but like he's more so of like a storytelling piece, and for events and for fun stuff, and there's like different versions of him, and he's kind of wacky. I just wish the real red suit OG Deadpool was an incredible mutant, because he should be. I wish he was. I wish he was just so much better. Or if there was just there was a leak from JX, not a leak, sorry, a prediction, a prediction that we were going to be getting another Deadpool this year, and it was like it's pirate Deadpool, and that would be insane. And I really hope we see that, and I hope he's incredible. But if I had to pick a mutant really buffing this class, it would be, well, it's technically two, and that's Cyclops, because Cyclops is just, like I said, a mutant potato. He's just horrible. He's just so freaking bad. And what makes it worse is there's two of him. There's two useless potatoes. A red one and a blue one. Like, why? So that's also why I would, if I had to pick somebody to get buffed, it'd be Cyclops, because ideally it would be like a Magneto situation where it's a double buff. So, you know, white Magneto got his buff and the red Magneto got his buff, and both buffs were absolutely incredible, but at the same time different. There's definitely a lot of similarities with those buffs, but they have different champion identities. Whereas, you know, Magneto, he's meant to be, you know, the champion that you play, and you really counter metal champions, and he's really good at it. Whereas white Magneto, again, he counters metal champs, and he's really good at it, and you can use him for that. But also where he excels is helping his teammates, because this Magneto is supposed to be like a hero. So he helps hero and metal champs with the guidance. You can get passive stuns. That's still, to this day, one of the absolute best pre-fights in the entire game, and it's utilized quite often in the highest tiers of Alliance War. Like, those buffs were incredible, and I really like them because it doesn't just feel like there's two Magnetos that are exactly the same. There's different champion identities with them, and it makes sense for their characters, right? I really like that. And I really, really love to see something similar like that with the Cyclopses. I think one of them is more of a villain, too. I think one of them killed Professor X or something like that. So it'd be cool if maybe like the villain Cyclops is more about just damage, armor breaks, and that kind of thing, whereas maybe the hero Cyclops is, again, maybe can help the mutant class more while also still having powerful armor breaks and everything and damage, but more of helping and more team-based stuff. Maybe some pre-fights, some unique pre-fights he could get. So yeah, seems like the best choice, because kind of like a 2-for-1 special here in the mutant class. So yeah, if I had to pick one mutant to be buffed, it would be the Cyclopses. All right, let's go ahead now, move on to Cosmic. This one is kind of tough. There's a few champs, but ultimately my heart just belongs with one Cosmic champion that I really want to see buffed. Which we'll talk about in a sec, but a couple of top runners is Thanos. Is you know, I have literally, do you know how I got this Thanos? This is a 6-star Thanos. I got him Awakened. I worked my butt off for it. The most work I've ever done in this game was achieving this Thanos, and that was doing Abyss of Legends, completing it 100% the week it dropped. Think about Abyss. Think about doing one path of Abyss, preparing for that. Think about doing the entire thing. I did that the week it dropped, 100%. That was like the most I've ever played MCOC in 1 week. It is insane. And I managed to get top 20 Legends, and I won this Thanos. But he's kind of a potato, especially on offense. He does have one useful aspect to him, and that's his signature ability, which was really good for one season of Battlegrounds, where there was debuffs really adding to this with Inequity and with already his Sig, just really lowering the opponent's attack to really stall out the fight. That's literally it. Aside from that, this Thanos isn't doing anything. He's supposed to be the Mad Titan. I'd love for Thanos to get buffed. And then the other champion, Phoenix. I've been wanting to see a buff on Phoenix for so long. There's been some synergies that make her better. And there was like she's not like a potato. She does do some stuff. There is a way to play her properly and everything. But dude, this is the Phoenix. The Phoenix Force is running through Jean Grey, an already powerful mutant on her own, then getting the Phoenix Force, which is one of the most powerful entities in all of Marvel. Like, again, it's another Sentry situation. Like, Phoenix, again, she should be like what Adam Warlock is doing. That type of damage, that type of playstyle. Like, but no, Phoenix is just a shell of what she should be. And she looks super badass too, super cool. I'd also really love to see a Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is actually in game. I think she was a boss. But this was before I even started playing the game. But I remember seeing it. So I'm pretty sure she is in the game. I think she could fight her at one point. And I think Ice Phoenix kind of looks like her as well. I did play that. But yeah, I'd really love to see Dark Phoenix. I'd love to see Phoenix get buffed, sick buff, and then there'd be like a Dark Phoenix as like a trophy champion for like the next Abyss of Legends or something. Yeah, would be so cool. Kabam! Listen to these good ideas, please. Okay, but that's again, even though I really want those two champions buffed, also I'd love to see Silver Surfer get tuned up. But even still, that's not the one character I would pick. If I had to pick one character in the Cosmic Class, also, you know, Groot. Shout out to Lefty Knox for not having a Groot. Groot definitely deserves buff. No doubt about it. No way around it. But if I had to pick one, my pick is this man right here. Symbiote Spider-Man. Why? Because Spider-Man is by far my favorite Marvel character. One of my top 3 favorite characters of all time in anything. Easily. I've always loved Spider-Man. I always will love Spider-Man. And just growing up, my favorite arc by far in every iteration of the Spider-Man story is when we get to the symbiote arc. When, you know, Peter finds a symbiote, he puts it on. Like, the symbiote, I love symbiotes. I just think they're so cool. I'd love to have a symbiote suit of my own. And I love seeing Peter with the suit because he just becomes so much more of a savage. And I love it. Of course, it's like negative and giving into his dark impulse. But I just love that man. He's just such a savage. He's just such a savage, and he's so much stronger too. Like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, his whole thing, he's always holding back. He's always holding back. He's holding back so much of his power. Spider-Man is actually just so stupidly strong, but he's always holding back. And then with the symbiote, he's way stronger. Like, it's just, I love it. But this character is not that good. I've talked to MSD about this a little bit, and he said that he does have some good synergies, which I've never really tried him with synergies. But so if those synergies could be incorporated into his base kit, maybe give him a little bit more spice as well. Man, oh, I'd really love to see this guy get buffed. But again, a similar problem with the Cosmic Class is just it's already super stacked. It's not really the top priority for buffs. But yeah, if I had to pick one, it would definitely be this guy. I love Symbiote Spider-Man so much. One of my favorite characters of all time. And yeah, that is the Cosmic Class. All right, let's go ahead and get moving to the Tech Class. So Tech, there's a few champs here that I would love to see buffed. Just like Iron Man mainly, like the Iron Man-esque characters, so Iron Man, Iron Patriot, those types of champs that, you know, they deserve a buff. Kang, of course, too. Kang's special because he's like the first villain of the contest. Like, you know, when you first start playing the game, like you're fighting against Kang. And it's cool to have Kang, but he just sucks. There is a synergy that gives him some furies and stuff, but again, I don't care about synergies. I want champions to be good on their own, especially the very first enemy of the entire game. Why is he bad that I finally got him? Why is he trash? You know? Really loves he can't get buffed. But, again, that's not the champion I really want to see. If I had to pick one here, it's definitely this guy. Green freaking Goblin, dude. I remember when this guy came out, my buddy Vex pulled him from the featured. At this time, it was definitely, yeah, it must have been the 5-star featured. This is a long time ago. We're talking 2017. Yeah, he pulled Green Goblin early, like right away, the day he came out or something, and he took him up. He used like imagine, put it into perspective. Like imagine pulling. Let's say Green Goblin just came out this week. You know, you pull him, and you take him to rank 5 as a 6-star. Like that back then, that's the equivalent of what Vex did with Green Goblin. And then, you know, we eventually realized, wow, he's a bit of an underwhelming champ. So it felt kind of bad for Vex. But, yeah, just Green Goblin, dude. like he's one of Spider-Man's biggest villains. Like it kind of irks me that Spider-Man's biggest villains like aren't nearly as big of threats as they should be, and Spider-Man himself is not even as big of a threat as he should be. But but then there's some Spider-Man villains that are some of the best champs in the entire game, like Scorpion, for example, who before he came to this game, Scorpion, like I really didn't pay that character much mind. Matt Gargan or something, that's his name, I think. And like I knew of him, of course. Seen his origins in multiple Spider-Man shows, but like he was never that guy. Scorpion was not that guy until he got added to MCOC. Now I look at Scorpion with like completely different lenses. Like he's that guy now. It's different. And I look at Green Goblin, and like I don't think of him as highly as I used to. he's so irrelevant in MCOC. So I'd really love to see a sick buff for Green Goblin, dude. See him as like this really awesome damage over time tech champ that has just really powerful power control, and I think that's all he really needs. Just give him, really increase the numbers on his power drain, really allow him to be just this incredible power control champ, and give him much higher chances on his debuffs to be much higher potency. Yeah, like just honestly, like some simple changes to Green Goblin. He has a decent kit, some decent utility. It's just the numbers on him just are way too low in my opinion. So I don't even think he really needs like an overhaul or anything. Just a big tune-up on his numbers, and I think he could be a really, really sick and relevant champ. And he looks very good. Like look how sinister this guy looks, man. Crazy. There's a couple different. There's many different Green Goblins these days. There's like this one. There's like the metal suit one we've seen in the original Spider-Man movies. Then there's like this new version of Green Goblin where he actually turns into a big goblin-y monster. That would make a lot more sense for a science, that version. But I do like the look of this version, and that he's tech. That's fine with me. But yeah, just really could use some tune-ups on the numbers. That's my pick for the tech class. And then let's go ahead and move on to the final class here, and that's Mystic. So, the Mystic class, man, I have an answer, but there's definitely a lot of champs I'd like to see buffed. A lot. Unstoppable Colossus, dude. This guy, it's funny when I think about this, because there's always been Unstoppable Colossus, and Juggernaut. And they've all been in the game since I started playing. And since I started playing, all three of them were irrelevant, garbage, trash. They're just terrible. The worst of the worst in the game. But then, Colossus got a sick buff. Colossus became a Chad. And that's great. And then Juggernaut got a buff. Now Juggernaut's a Chad. He's Giga Chad. He's huge. He's wrecking stuff in Battlegrounds. I've seen rank 5 Juggernauts. He's awesome. I used my rank 3 Juggernaut to knock out 2 Eternity of Pain paths, and he absolutely crushed it. 2 objectives. But then we have this guy, a cross between Colossus and Juggernaut, and he's just trash. I really want to see like the best of the best stuff taken from the Colossus buff and the Juggernaut buff, put it together, and give it to Unstoppable Colossus, and then make him worth 1.6 million loyalty. I'll go buy him. Like, it's just the easiest buff waiting to happen here. Just take what you did to Colossus and Juggernaut, amalgamate it together, boom. There's the new Unstoppable Colossus. Like, please, Kabam, do it. I've given them this feedback. I don't think they listen to me, man. But that's what I want to see, dude. Like, I want to spend. I have like 1.2 million loyalty now. I would buy him. I'd buy him. I'd give him an Awakening Gem if they did that. I'd love to get him. But yeah, that's not who I would pick. There's some other champs too, like Doctor Strange. Dude, when I first started playing this game, like I'm sure you guys all know the tale of Scarlet Witch, right? She was the reason for 12.0. Scarlet Witch used to just be one of the most busted champs in the entire game, especially if RNG went your way. You could stun lock your opponent the entire fight, have regen the entire fight, have insane damage the entire fight, just power control the opponent in the entire fight. It's just ridiculousness. But even in that same time, when Scarlet Witch was in her absolute prime, I remember people telling me that Doctor Strange was the best Mystic champ. Now, like, this was when I first started playing the game, so I didn't have nearly as much knowledge, didn't really know what I was doing, not nearly as much as I know now, right? Not even close. I was a total noob. But, so it's hard to know exactly whose opinions I should be trusting and everything, but there was multiple people that I remember saying, like, Doctor Strange, he's the best Mystic champ, or, he's one of the best, and people would compare him with Scarlet Witch, and, like, looking back at it now, with everything I know now, I definitely think Scarlet Witch up here, and Doctor Strange down here. But, like, Doctor Strange used to be that guy. He used to be an incredible Mystic champ, and he got nerfed. He did not deserve to be nerfed. Like, he really did not. So I'd love to see, Doctor Strange just be restored to what he was. Like, he wasn't even OP. He really was not. What really hurt Doctor Strange as well was when the game kind of just shifted how things worked behind the scenes with what's called diminishing returns. Basically, percentage values became not percentage values, and so diminishing returns really mess with that. So, for example, you can have 100,000 critical rating, you still don't have guaranteed critical hits because of the way diminishing returns works. It's very complicated, but I don't even fully understand it. But it's something like that. But I'd love for Doctor Strange, to be returned to his glory. And there's another champ I really like Ghost Rider, who doesn't suck. He's great. He's just outdated now. And I was actually thinking about this in the shower today. I would love to see Ghost Rider get buffed and have. I'm pretty sure he gets a Fury. I think is that from his signature ability, the Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah, it is. I'd love to see when activating that, his flames turn blue, and that's just his crazy damage phase with his blue flames. He just is inflicting critical incinerates and all kinds of hellfire stuff. Oh my goodness, how sick would that be to see Ghost Rider turn blue flames? I'm pretty sure that happened in the second movie with him too, with Nicolas Cage. So it'd be accurate too. I just think that'd be so cool. But again, if I had to pick one champion in the Mystic class to buff, I know exactly who it would be. And because again, there's a little bit of a 2-for-1 situation, and that's Iron Fist. So Iron Fist, I would love to see buff. I remember watching the Iron Fist TV show, and a lot of people hated it, especially the first season. Man, not me. I'm like the opposite of a harsh critic. It's difficult for me to not like something, especially when I'm watching it. It has to be really, really bad for me to not like it. I'm very easygoing, and especially when it's characters that I just like regardless of the story, regardless of the acting, regardless of the animation. If it's a character that I like and I'm interested in that character and their story, I really don't care about the rest of stuff. I just want to watch. I want to see what they do with this character. And I was so curious about Iron Fist and his show, and I really liked it. I just really liked the whole concept of his power, how he has, you channel his chi into his fist. I just love it in that, his chi, he can channel his chi to heal himself. I'm pretty sure he can channel his chi to heal others. It's just such a cool power. And the fact that, he had to fight a dragon, he's this mystical martial artist, it's just, I love the concept of Iron Fist. I just think it's so cool. I mean, there's literally, the internal struggle of fighting your demons, that we all have, with this guy literally fighting his demons in the form of a dragon. That's so freaking cool, man. And he wears it as a tattoo on his chest. This guy is so sick. Iron Fist needs just a sick buff. He's got to be, I want to see him become just one of the most powerful armor breaking champs in the entire game. Armor breaks, guaranteed crits. I feel Shang-Chi is kind of what I want to see Iron Fist be like. Some similarities with him, with the whole chi charges and stuff. How getting perfect parries and perfect dexterities is rewarded by chi charges. I'd love to see Iron Fist have some sort of chi charge like that as well, but different, of course. I would love to see intercepting give him chi charges, just because Iron Fist is this martial master martial artist. I'd really love to see like something with intercepting, really promoting him, and that being the key to bringing out his full potential, and also being able to use the chi to get regen, stuff like that. And yeah, just armor breaks, big crits. Love to see something like that in Iron Fist. And then take those buffed abilities and apply them to Immortal Iron Fist, and then give him even more on top of that. Like, make Immortal Iron Fist be buffed Iron Fist. All of buffed Iron Fist is put into Immortal Iron Fist's base kit, and then give Immortal Iron Fist a unique signature ability. Give him a unique signature ability that gives him something else on top of an already incredible buffed Iron Fist that just takes him to the next level. Gives him, and it makes that immortal name worthwhile. It is so difficult to acquire a 6-star Immortal Iron Fist if you're not a whale and you don't have a horseshoe up your butt. If you don't have those two things, it is very difficult to acquire this champion. I don't even have them, and you can definitely call me a whale, and I've also had pretty good luck, but I don't have him. But I really want him. But the thing is he's garbage. Why do I even want him? Just to complete my collection, really. But how nice would it be if he was this incredible champion that is better than Iron Fist, and he has another unique thing on top of like him, and it's like that'd be so cool. That would make me want him all the more. Try to hunt for him. Like actually try to go after getting Max Sigs. Like that'd be so sick. But again, it's the same problem with Unstoppable Colossus. It's these unique trophy champs or unique way to get these champs, but they're just garbage. So there's no point. And if you get them, it's like, okay, I got them. Never gonna use them. Like what's the point of having these champions if they're garbage? There is no point. There is no point. And so, yeah, that's this video went on so much longer. This was supposed to be like a 12-minute video. I guess I just really started getting passionate talking about some characters I want to see buffed and what I'd like to see. And honestly, that's just the way I've felt about MCOC lately. Just a lot of passion, which is good. And it comes and goes when I play this game. Sometimes I just need a break, and sometimes I just feel the fiery passion to grind and talk about the game. And that's kind of how I feel right now, which is really good. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I talked way more than I thought I was going to, so if you made it all the way to the end, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my choices? Tell me if you had to pick just one champion in the entire game to be buffed, who would it be? And what's the most important ability you would like to see added to them, or get tuned up, or changed? I'd really love to hear. And, you know, let's just brainstorm in the comments. Fun stuff, because maybe Kabam will take a look at this. Maybe they'll listen to something I have to say. Maybe they'll read some comments. Maybe they'll see a good idea that you guys wrote. Who knows? Who knows? Probably not. Probably not, but you never know. So let's just have some fun with it in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if so. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.